Good day folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue with the update 1.25 races. Ultimately what we're here to do is to just demonstrate that it's still possible, that you can complete all these in the same sort of method and same manner. I'm making them slightly different as I go on because I'm keeping myself interested, but with it we're trying to make, with this race in particular, I've tried 5 or 6 cars. I've won it easily with GT500 cars, so the Nissan that we used last time was an easy win. The Lexus RCF, I won by 4 clear laps. It's still a challenge because you have to control the car in the wet, but in terms of making it a good challenge, a race, something where you don't quite not know whether you're going to make it or not at all, something where you think, oh, one mistake and I'm done. Well, I've tried to find the right car for that, and with that, we're going to try the BMW M6 GT3 Endurance. Now, there is another. It's a GT3 Sprint car, and there's also a GT3 GT Racer. So, this one's the Endurance. It's supposed to go longer, but we'll see. PP, we're nowhere near the target at 73590. The target's 800. With that, there's nothing else to put on this car. You could put 2 more turbos on, but what I'm looking to do is maintain the fuel. I need and I want the car to go something in the region of 8-9 laps on the first set of tyres, and then we can just get into the night, run through the 24-hour cycle of the race, pitting roughly twice. I want to pit twice. That's my challenge, that's my target. So we can use any racing tyres. Fuel is ×4, tyres are ×8. We can use intermediates or wets, no nitrous. It's a full field of GR3s is our opponents, and with that, settings for the car. Racing mediums, first stint, and then top speed on the customised manual gearbox, 290. I've done nothing else, can't do anything else to it, folks. That's your lot. You can't do anything in the auto shop, so there's no front splitter, side skirts or anything. Let's go to the race. Here we are, folks, we've made it to the track, and we're going to go through the race settings as always. Track extra 1, default ABS, everything else off. Are we ready? Let's give it a go. So we've talked about this numerous times. We're on medium tyres. We're going to push this first stint as long as we can possibly go. It all depends on the fuel. Maybe the tyres will have an impact. This car is relatively quick. It's a GT3. It'll hold its own with these GT3s. It'll also make progress. 6th gear, braking on the end of the yellow and red strip there on the left hand side. Fuel's saying 8 laps. That's not tremendous. I really want a 9th lap. A 9th lap will do me happily. We know it's going to rain. So once that rain comes, we'll be on to intermediates or wets. We're not 100% sure which way that'll go yet. There are various rain patterns to this race, depending on which car you're in, depending on which cycle you're in, all dictates which kind of rain comes. There is almost no rain on one variation where you only have to use slicks, wets I mean, for the last 10 minutes of the race. There's one where the rain starts after 4 laps. There's one where it's absolutely torrential, tremendous rain. And it's a whole different ball game. But with that being the case, it makes for an interesting pattern of races when you do this over and over again as part of the grind. Now, I'm not suggesting a car here that is good for the grind. I'm suggesting this car here is good for a race. just going to follow my teammate. He just brake checked me on the apex, Mr. Rubilar. Now this car itself seems to be a slow accelerator through the gears. Go around the outside of the Nissan. We'll have Mr. Ordonez on the other side of Eau Rouge absolutely easily. Yeah, we've got 8.2 laps there, on the second lap, so we're definitely going to get the 9th lap, which is great for me. That takes us as long as we need to go on the first pit stop. Wee, round pist Mr. Ordonez. Up on our teammate, we'll just suck up on his draft, blow past him. We'll go from there. So I've done this race a few times since Wednesday when I posted my last video. I've tried this with a number of cars. So as I say, RCF, Lexus RCF, the biggest surprise of a car for me. And I completed that video and I was going to post it until I was processing it. And I realised when I went for a drink halfway through the race, my mic cut out. So I've got no audio for the last half of the race. If you want me to redo the video and post the RCF 1x4 laps, I'll do so, but I can honestly tell you, default RCF, no extra gear on it, just add some weight, take some horsepower out of it by reducing the output from the ECU, get it to 800 and you'll win that race. Absolutely piece of banana cake. So I thought, actually, why am I going to post one that's easy? Let me do something that's a challenge. So I started looking for another car. I actually went 458 road car, modded that up, got that going, added some, no need to add anything, I just added all the bits and pieces. Shouldn't have clipped him, that was me talking. Added all the bits and pieces, 30 laps, it was absolutely tremendous, lovely sounding car, absolutely stunning. But after 30 minutes my ears were bleeding, the noise absolutely tremendous, so I had to quit out. It just come too much. It's a lovely sounding car, but road car with a big turbo. It doesn't take a big turbo. I think it does. It might do. I was able to put a turbo on it, but the noise was absolutely horrific. So I actually swapped to the 458 GT3 car. Absolutely stunning car on medium tyres. Could not get any sort of distance out the mediums. I was pitting every 6 laps, just couldn't get a handle on the race. Had to pit early for wets because at the time it rained and the lead cars just pulled away from me, couldn't make progress. So with that, I tried the Lexus GT3 car. Can't cut it, it can't handle the back. For me, it just wouldn't get anywhere near the front. Just didn't have the pace on the straights. It was great through Eau Rouge, but it just didn't have the beans, it just doesn't have the muscle to get there. So, not wanting to go the ordinary route, I thought, hang on, let's try a different car here, let's do something else. And not forgetting, this is now my 6th time of doing the video. So I'm in a car that I think, yeah, this might do. It's an endurance model, but what I'm looking for is a win with the cars on the same lap as me. I don't want to have lapped everybody, I want to have really started to compete with them, drive with them, have a bit of a challenge. Because it's alright winning every race and romping home, but cripes, sometimes you want to have a good battle, and this is what today's aiming to be. So you can see we're not romping up on everybody. We're up to 10th place, we're on lap 3, so that was 2.5 laps to get up to 10th. We're not absolutely chucking a sausage down an alleyway and making the way to the front. We've got fairly good even wear on the tyres. It looks like we've got 6 laps of fuel left, which will take us to the end of lap 9. I actually want to get to the end of lap 9. We might actually only get to the end of lap 8, but we'll see what lap 8 does, see what that brings. It all depends on when the rain comes. We've got a gaggle of cars ahead of us. So the interesting thing about this race is it's 24, 25, 26 laps depending how fast you go. And you consider it an endurance race, but in reality the only thing that's endurance is the fact it's an hour long turned into 24 by the night cycle. If you actually consider this a 1 hour race, which it actually is, it's not a 24 hour, we could actually probably take this on with a sprint car, to be honest. Well, a bit all over the place there, very fast through there. Let's hope we don't get a penalty. We threw that through there. We're in 9th, 18 seconds behind the leaders. We're going to try and make some headway on this lap. Oh, Mr. Grady was off the circuit. He's on soft tyres. He'll be heading into the pits probably the end of this lap or next. We've just gone past the GT3 sprint car. Yeah, the fuel looks like it's ticking away marginally. But we're starting to get into that portion of the race where we're starting to realise this is going to be a race. Who's that in front of me? There's 5 cars in front of me. That'll put us up to 3rd place once we've taken all these guys. I say once. That's sort of assuming that we're going to overtake them. I think Mr. Grady and Mr. Fragger are going to go to the pits anytime soon. Mr. Grady is actually holding the fastest lap of the race so far at a 2:27.65. We previously have a 2:20. Oh, I've probably just incurred a penalty there by steering over the green line. So that's Mr. Fragger to the pits. Oh, and we're just a little bit too late on the brakes there. Another 2:21, so we've improved our fastest lap, but we haven't got the fastest lap of the race as yet. We just need to get this big beast. It's a big car, this one. Slow to accelerate. We're in 8th place. The 2 guys that were going to go to the pits have gone to the pits. Let's see if we can just keep a foot flat and just manage these curves. There we go. Mr. Miazano in our sights. Mr. Hazal now has the fastest lap at 2:25.07. Just sucking up to Mr. Miazano. You can see the draft topping out our gear, but that shows that our gearing is absolutely spot on for the end of the straight. Just into the rev limiter at the end of it. So 5th place now. 2nd gear for this corner. Again, braking on the start of the red and yellow curve on the left hand side. So as we come down this straight, we're looking to brake on just after the 50s on the right hand side. That black, what looks like a camera box or something up on the fence, it might be the actual flagging box, the automated yellow, red and blue flag, automated repeater flashing sign box. That might be where that is. That's the braking marker for me. What I'm trying to do, and something I've said in a number of the videos that I've recorded and you guys haven't seen, is using environmental braking markers is quite dodgy. You've got to use a physical thing. Don't use the shadow because they move. They go away when it's cloudy. So I'm just looking to my tyres on the left hand side. They are looking shocking. 50% gone. We're on lap 5, so we're definitely not going to get 9 laps, I don't think. Could have braked a little bit later there. So we're only 3 seconds off the lead with this, folks. We've actually done the hard work. We've caught them up. That was a 2:22.9, but we had that washout on that corner. And it looks like The rain is actually on its way. There it is, see it bottom of the screen. So actually we're timing this quite well, depending on what volume of rain comes. We look like we've got this quite on the money. Fuel wise we're alright, we've got 3 more laps. Or this and 2 more, maybe just 2 more. So what we'll be looking to do, depending on how that rain approaches the circuit, what we'll be looking to do is pit as the rain starts and probably try and get intermediates on, depending on what we judge the rain to be. If we think it's going to be tremendously heavy, we can go straight to wets. Let's see how it approaches the circuit. I'm keen to watch that rain come in. Not forgetting the rain comes in at the speed of the 24-hour cycle. Then it's not really travelling in at 50 miles an hour. We get the rain of an hour in the 24th of an hour. In about 6 minutes you get 1 hour's worth of rain. So when it rains it could go extremely heavy. Rear left tyre is looking a bit cooked. It'll be the first one to go, I think. So we're getting a bit of a splitter rain coming past us. We haven't really caught the guys in front just as much as we wanted to. But it looks like the most of the rain is going to miss us early. I'm going to put in another lap. No, oh, one car's gone to the pits. I'm definitely pitting next lap. We haven't decided what tyres yet though. Here comes the rain. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. 10 points to the person that can name the song and the artist. And night time is upon us. And yeah, I'd suggest we're potentially got 2.4 laps of fuel. It's definitely rainy. Watch that rain gauge on the left hand side. It's not going to rain for long. And saying I've driven this race 5 or 6 times in the last 3 days, I've not seen this pattern of rain before, so this is again a challenge. We're in 4th place, 5 seconds behind the leader. It looks like the rain is going round us for now. Just a bit gentle with the car currently. It doesn't want to fight me, but I don't want it to buck so much. I don't want the back end to slip out. I want to keep control of the car. Just using 1 gear less than I would be happy using, really. I think we need to pit this time. And I think we're going to stay on the same. I think we're going to go for mediums again. Because, oh, look at that big chunk of rain coming in there. I think we need to put inters on. It's dry though, the track's dry. Can I do 1 more lap on the tyres we're on? I don't think so. I'm going to go for inters in the pits now. Looking at that band of rain coming, I think inters are the tyre to go on to. Going to risk the inters. Excuse me slurping. I don't want the mic to turn off, so I might mute that bit of sound as I take that drink. So we're going to fill up all the way. He's got the wrong tyres out. They've got slicks on them. It's actually an ongoing bug with the game. It should show the type of tyres you're putting back on. Mr. Hazal's putting mediums on. It's just raining now in the pit lane. Full tank of gas and we're away. It says I'm on mediums. That needs to change to inters. We're down to 16th place. We're just banking on the rain now. It's about to hit. Sixteenth place we're in, and there's a big bank of rain coming. So we might be early. We might wear these tyres just a little prematurely. We'll just slide through the apex there then. Bum-bum, bum-bum. Going to take a penalty now. Yeah, big penalty as well because we cut a corner. I'm just going to let this car go through. He's going to bully his way past. I didn't really ignore the track limit, I'm afraid. What happened was I put the brakes on, the car didn't stop because I'm on the wrong tyres. But I'm going to be on the right tyres now. 3.5 second penalty is going to really hinder us as we attempt to go past the pits. What we're hoping for is this rain comes hard. Oh, it's definitely coming big time. It's whether we needed to go to wets, that would be the real question. We're already at the water depth where inters are the predominant tyre. Got a big slowdown coming now. Mr. Portilla's just gone to the pit, so he's going to capitalise because he was able to time the pit stop with his tyre change, which is what we were aiming to do. There's the pit stop slow down. Oh, we're going so slow. Can't see anybody behind us at this point. So some of the race have carried on. We hope to make ground here. So Beauvoir's in. Grady's in for his second stop. Now we just need to be gentle as we go through Eau Rouge. It doesn't look like the lead pack of cars has actually taken to the pit lane. We just need to take it steady. We didn't. Oh, we're going to get another time penalty there. That's terrible. The car just went straight on. But we're up to 8th. And another half second, a second and a half pit penalty. That's just appalling. Let's not get any more into this corner. Let's make sure we take it. And it looks like the rain's about to end. I can't believe that anybody on softs is going to be able to manage it round these this circuit. Here we're making hay till the sun shines. We've got to make progress because look, the rain's running out and we've got a penalty coming, so but they're going nice and steady because oh no, that did not need to happen. Don't know how that happened in reality. Extremely deep water, one would suggest. And that's the end of the rain, so one and a half second penalty. Another thing with this car, the headlights are pretty poor, I have to say. See how much we can put on these chaps before we have to take the penalty. So we're in 9th place now after that spin. Seem to be in a massive bunch of traffic. Come on guys, get out the way. I should leave them room actually, but they're numpty AI. So there's another tranche of rain coming through, bottom left hand corner. All the leaders are in the pits now. They're taking fuel, so as we come down the hill they'll be exiting the pit on the right hand side. We're only 2.9 seconds off the lead. We're going to see them shoot up that hill in a second. We're going to take it steady through here. We're not going to absolutely gun it. We're going to gun it over the top of the crest, and we're into 3rd place. And it looks like it's fairly dry. The majority of the pack are on wets, or intermediates at least. We're up with the BMW sprint car, Mr. Lopez. He looks like he's running slicks. So he's a fellow factory BMW driver. Now that second tranche of rain, that second cloud bank doesn't look like it's coming. I just have to be a bit cautious here where we spun it last lap. Now the way this is looking is we could actually just keep an eye on that tyre gauge, left hand corner, that rainwater gauge. I reckon it's another lap here on inters, and then we're into the world of mediums again. Whoa, I just managed to hold that. Took all of my body to move to keep the steering wheel back where it needed to be. But this is a challenge now. It feels like this is a race. Just a reminder, we're in 3rd place. Has anybody gone for the pits, or are they still both on circuit? They're still both on circuit. There is absolutely no rain. This straight's fairly wet. Look, intermediates are still the tyre of choice. Down the hill we go. Just going to back it out of 6th. Keep it in 5th as we take the right-hander back on the throttle. Clip that curb. Hard down. Let's see if we can take Mr. Lopez this time. See if we can get into 2nd. Dry lines appearing. Little bit of slide through there. Trying to work out what car that is. Mr. Mendoza. Don't know what it is. I can see 2 white stripes up the back of the car, which makes me think it's oh, I can't see what it is. Makes me think it's a Viper, but we know that's Portilla, and we also know the other Beamer is Rubilar. No rain on the rain radar. There is on the right hand side. It's unusual to come round here without a penalty. And we see what it is yet. It's the Aston Martin that isn't almost ever at the front of this race. He's carrying on. The track is starting to dry now. We can see the rainwater depth gauge is just starting to stay predominantly below that first line. Starting to look to see the majority of the field going to go in and change tyres. We've got a bit of slide on there. We're good. We're good. We held it. Don't think we'll get him on this straight this time. We're zooming up to him nicely. We'll just... There's more rain on the radar, but nothing threatening us. Drying out this part of the track, definitely. Starting to watch for the rest of the field to go to the pits. Interested to wait for them to go, because we're leading the pack. It's sort of our prerogative to take it, and there's rain coming in from the left hand side again. Here we go. Definite dry line formed. Got the charge on now. We're pulling away from Mr. Lopez behind. He is just backing away. Tap the brakes just a fraction. Want to see where this guy goes. Is he going pits? I've just tapped his back end. He's on the slicks. He's on wets. I can see that on his tyres as he locked them up. We'll stay out doing what we're doing. Giving him the hurry up with a little bit of a tap on the back end, and he's away. As I say, slow to accelerate this car. It doesn't really have the oomph off the line. And here we go. We've got the bones now. We're gonna whiz past Mr. Mendoza. So it's on us now. Raining from the left-hand side, but it's blowing straight past by the looks of it. The rainwater gauge is indicating that there's no depth of water now. It's drying out. So the question is, if you stray offline and if you go to overtake somebody, it's highly likely you'll end up in deeper water. So the question is, do we pit for dries and risk it overtaking people, or do we stay on the inters until they're absolutely cooked, until we're in a position where we're forced to make a change? If everybody else goes in, then we go in and we adopt the same tyres. We're going to go to mediums if it's anything. but there's definitely no rain on the horizon. This race is made even more complicated by the fact it genuinely is 24 hours in an hour, so you get 3 hours of rain in like 10 minutes. It's dry at certain points. He's gone to the pit, so we're going to run this one last lap. We're going to get the benefit. We've only got 3 more laps of fuel anyway. Everybody's gone in to come off their inters. We're going to come round to the end of this lap and we'll pit after everybody else. We'll let them suffer the consequence of that change of tyres. We will absolutely rattle this lap. We haven't got much fuel left. We've done alright. They've only done 60% of their fuel. So we know we're right. Let's look at that rain radar. Nothing on it. It's totally dry. The track's almost dry. They are going to be quicker than us because they're going to undercut. By undercut, what I mean by that is they're going to be going faster after the pit stop, and they're going to attempt to come out in front of us, whereas I'm going to attempt the overcut. It'd be awesome to actually see rain appear on the actual rain gauge and weather radar, and it come in like an absolute train, but it looks like it's drying up through the night. We're approaching the halfway point of the race, just 5 minutes to go. So we're kind of not on schedule for our pit stops. We were going to pit stop at 20, but we've kind of pit stopped at 15, and it looks like we'll need to do another pit stop after this one anyway. So they're out the pits now and running hard. It's still a bit wet there on the surface. That's what you got to watch out for on the slicks. If they're hot, they hit cold tarmac, wet tarmac, you'll end up all over the place. There's nothing there. There's a little splash there. To the left hand side it's quite wet. We're going to go in, put a full set of mediums on, take a full tank of gas. Mediums, full tank of gas. Just can't see where they are. They're 39 seconds behind, and it's roughly a minute's pit stop here with a full tank of gas. So we're probably going to be 10 seconds behind the Mexican Mendoza. But we'll see. They only took half a tank of gas. Change the tyres onto the inters. The timing change is gone now, and we're full. Now I think it's going to be pretty wet coming out of pit lane. We're down to third, fourth. Cookabun's overtook Lopez. Here they go, coming down the hill. They're going through Eau Rouge now. We've got to follow this windy road to the right. Mr. Mendoza, and then behind him, 1.6 seconds behind me now is Mr. Cookabun. So what we've got to do is try and keep this on the dry line. And we've got to try and make some steam, because we're going to be pitting earlier than they will, because I think they're on hards. So we've got to go that touch faster. let's push him. What we were trying to do there was get alongside him and force him out onto the wet line. There's still water about here, just got to be that touch careful. As the sun starts to rise as we finish off the night. I got the time wrong, didn't I? I said there was 25 minutes gone. I meant it was 25 minutes to go. He just tried to cut that apex just a fraction. I think he's in a position to go all the way without pitting, you know. I think we've got to get in and get in front of that fella. He's gone like a rabbit. Look at him go. We might have to lift coming through here. Just while we catch the water, the air. Try and keep to the right. Hopefully there's no penalty there. Seem to be free of a penalty. We seem to be okay, but we have lost time against him. We've got to catch him up. Ideally I want to put him behind us. Him doing the undercut did work. It just gave him track position, but I know if I put him behind me he's not going to be fighting so hard. I'm going to attempt to do it again, going under the gantry. I don't think I've got him. I don't think I'm close enough. Here we go. Now we can put him behind us. Show him a clean pair of heels. Then we've got to keep him behind us as we go up the start-finish straight after the chicanes. Once we've done that, we've got to keep him behind us going down the rouge, and then we can start to put some distance on him. Let's see how we do. What we don't want to do is lose the back end coming around this second apex. Just go steady on the throttle. There we go. So back in the 221s. That's good. He's catching us, and he'll also give us a run for the money down the hill. I'm just gonna play the unfriendly game of just keeping him behind us. Just gonna fifth gear it. Put it back the throttle, and then we'll push on. Now we're going to try and start to make time. No rain on the... It will rain again, I think. 6 laps. Definitely got to start really putting time in. If we can, take the opportunity to get that fastest lap in. Bit of use of first gear there to try and check the car, stop it sliding. Don't usually use first gear in that corner. I need to go back to the rain chart just to make sure there's nothing coming. Be careful with the rear tyres on the wet curbs. track's almost dried out. The racing lines appeared. We're pushing hard, we're doing well. But I don't know if we're doing enough to win this race because we've got to pit again. What we don't want to have to do is pit again when it's not raining. We really need the rain to come to allow us to change to another set of tyres rather than pitting for no reason just for tyres and fuel. We need them to pit as well, and because they're on a longer hard tyre strategy, it could be that we lose this because of an additional pit stop. We're improving our lap time, but we're not getting anywhere near that fastest lap of the race. Now would be the ideal time to put that in. "16 minutes of the race left. That's the best part of 7 laps. What we got left on fuel, 5.5. We're a splash and dash away. We've definitely got a pit. It looks like a nice morning, but it's plenty of clouds about, which tells me there's rain on the horizon somewhere. I don't think there's enough laps for me to build up enough time for there to be within a chance of winning this race without a rain interruption. Rain is the only thing that's going to allow me to win this race, I believe. And you know, this is the mental part of the game. When you're trying to calculate what's going to happen, what you should do. Real racing, we've got a pit wall that's going to do that for us. We can make so many mistakes from the driver's seat. I don't think this is one of those races where you could pit early and attempt to catch it back. We pulled out a 10-second lead. There was wet there on the green. Need to be aware of doing that. I know what we can do is we can pit for softs. Softs would give us the best chance of running the fastest lap. It's not the fastest lap we've done, it was a little bit slow. We are increasing the lead as we go, but it's a fruitless task this, I think. I think we're barking up the wrong tree. Flat out, no lift. We made that beautifully. Need to make up a few more seconds as we go down here. Half a tank of gas left. "13 laps to go, 13 minutes to go." Oh, I think we've blown it, folks. It looks like I'm making another video. "15-second lead. but it's not enough to win by a pit stop. We need that rain to come. And if it's going to come, it needs to come, and it needs to rain hard. We've just done our fastest lap of the race, but it's not the fastest lap of the race. I'm going to come out the pits 20 seconds behind. That much we do know. Oh no, penalty. That's going to be a penalty, definitely. I couldn't get it back. A 1 seconder, so that's, we don't need that. That just doesn't help the cause. Let's see if we can make that up with a bit of push. Now, is there a case that we could run 11? We're looking at 4 more laps after this. We've only got 3.2, but I don't think the tyres will make it either, to be honest. The only thing we can do really, if there's no rain on the rain radar, is to risk the pit stop, take a set. Oh look, that was so close. My tyres are giving up now. There's no rain on the rain radar. We're 21 seconds ahead. One more lap, I think, and then we will one more lap, and then we'll attempt to dash this. I don't think there's any way. We can't run 2 4.5 minute laps. No. I mean, there is a... how far could we stretch the fuel, do you think? I think they're just going to catch us. Doesn't look like there's going to be any more rain, and that's not playing well for us. These guys are going to go all the way to the end. Because they're on hard tyres and saving their fuel. We're trying to sprint away to the end, and it's not going to work. The inevitable is going to happen by the looks of it. You take a minute out of that for the pit stop, and it only gives us 2 laps to catch up 20 seconds. Softs and 3 laps of fuel, that's all we need. Well, we've got one more. And the sun's out, absolutely blazing. 24 seconds ahead, let's do it. Soft tyres. 3 laps of fuel. Softs and 3. Speed down the pit lane, my man, come on. Do not rain. The time's ticking down slowly. Time's now gone, so he's crossed the start-finish line. We haven't yet gone in. I've got my foot on the gas. Change it to softs. 1, 2, 3, gone. We're in 5th place. Portilla's come in for hards. Oh, and they're going past us now. We just gotta go, go, go. Seventh place, 8 seconds off the lead. So there's 6 minutes left. So as far as I can work out, we've got 2 laps to do this. No penalties, come on. We're going to burn these tyres up, I reckon. Softs against hards. I'm throwing everything at this. I've got a feeling they know. They know the puzzle I face. Got to get past everybody extremely quickly. Looking at this, I think we've got another 2 laps, which is well in with the prediction of 3 laps of fuel at the end. Coming up to, we need to take him here. Slide through him at the apex. And there's 2 more gone into the pits. 2 of those guys have gone in. That's great, that's just people I don't have to overtake. That's fabulous. Braking really late into T1. My usual braking point is the 100. I'm actually leaning into the tearing now just to make it happen. And yes, there's definitely 2 laps to go. No lift. Here we go. Felt the car lift though, 5 seconds off the lead. And there's back markers in the mix now, so they could help us, they could hinder us. Mr. Grady's got the fastest lap back. 2:18.681. We're hoping to beat that on a soft tyre sprint. Oh, and I think we've caught them. I think they're stuck behind the Ford GT. They are. Mr. Mendoza and Mr. Cookabun can't get past Mr. Wilk. He is hindering the process. I'm going to dive underneath Mr. Wilk and Mr. Mendoza. I'm I'm not going to bully him for the win. I'm going to take it. There we go, back into first place. That, just unbelievable. But have they got the fuel now? Because they've been on hards. Everybody else has pitted. I'm not giving this up, not for anything. This was the car we used in the Nürburgring for the lap attacks. They've gone to the pits. I didn't get the fastest lap of the race. But I've got the win. Mr. Mendoza, Mr. Kukabun, gone to the pits. Mr. Miazano hasn't, so Miazano will take second place. Absolutely tremendous. No lift, 6th gear early, up the hill. This is going to be a victory lap and a half. 3 stops works, folks. Yeah, pleased with myself. We made a race of this. It was a good call. A GR3 car against a field of GR3s. We started in last place. We came through to the front. We pit stopped early. We had to then pit for rain. We ran as long as we could in the rain. We took another set of mediums as the rain fell away. Early hours of the morning as the sun came up. As the morning progressed, it looked like it was all over. So we took a stab at a quick splash and dash, 3 laps of fuel and a set of softs, and we've sprinted to the end. Admittedly, not the fastest car out there in terms of lap time, but the strategy worked. Bit of a fly-by-night, off-the-cuff type strategy, seeing what happened, because you never know what happens with rain. We're just 1/4 seconds off our fastest lap. We're not going to purple sector this. So there's no way Mr. Grady is going to get knocked off that pedestal. We've got 0.4 laps of fuel left. We're just going to make it to the line. One of the slowest accelerating cars I've ever driven. A 19.1, and there it is, folks. Brought to the line. Stunning little track, stunning little finish. Super duper, everyone's a winner. It's a great race. It's a great hour as well. And for that 1 hour, look, we were 10 seconds over the time. So it was a good finish in terms of economy. 20 seconds ahead of Mr. Miazano. And with the rest of the field, do we get to scroll down and see? We only lapped 2 cars, so we made a definite race of that. We'll skip through the replay. And there it is, 1.5 million as your race win. 102.2 miles for the race for the day. And that's it. Thank you very much, folks. We will see you on the next one. Take care.